Hey, welcome back. I'm gonna do today without the headphones, so I'm just probably gonna sound quieter, but whatever. I guess today I'm going to talk more about like friend stuff than date stuff, because I did yesterday a thing with the church. So I've done two things. I went to like a Thanksgiving meal, and then I did this thing yesterday, taco night. And I haven't talked about either of those, so that's more of like a friend thing, which I am trying to work on too, like the date stuff and then also the friend stuff. Maybe I can talk about one relationshipy type thing that I never mentioned before, I don't think. It was weird how when I went on that date and I didn't get like rejected or anything, but I did feel a little bit like a rejection, but I'm not gonna talk to her anymore really, so I felt a lot of things, which is good. Like, I mean, even like a year ago or 2 years ago, I remember thinking like, am I capable of feeling anything? It was obviously a dumb thought, but my depression kind of took the form of an intense apathy and being like, I don't feel anything. And so it's nice that I am feeling a lot of things. Like I mentioned, Nintendo Ennui. I think I was kind of I looked up what ennui meant, and I was like, that's pretty close to what I was feeling. So in the last week's video, Mark, his name's Only Rush, he commented. I knew him from Twitter, which is pretty cool. So I got 3 comments on the last video, I think, which is like, whoa. Who cares, but it's nice. Thanks, Mark, if you're watching this video. That's very nice that you commented. And he was like, what you might be feeling is restlessness. I was like, yeah, that's for sure it. It's feeling like I finally found, or it's feeling like I wanted that, and now I can't have it. Or I can't experience it right now. So I'm like, I just want to do the next thing. And just being impatient, kind of. But I also felt, I don't feel it right now. I felt loneliness, like, probably, like, for the first time in my life. Because, which I always kind of thought was interesting, like, I've never experienced loneliness before, because I knew if I was ever around other people, I wouldn't be happy, because I wouldn't be able to interact with them, and I would just be weird. So when I was by myself, I never felt lonely, because I'm like, this is better than being around people. But then once I had that positive interaction with the coffee date thing, and like I realized I was capable of it, and then afterwards I couldn't meet her again, I felt loneliness because I'm missing out on that, because I'm by myself now. It was a weird thing to be like, oh, I'm lonely for like the first time ever. I'm capable now of loneliness, which is interesting. And it's not a fun thing to feel, but I'm glad it went away kind of quick. So let me go through the friend stuff. I've noticed that these friend things are actually much harder for me to do than like the coffee date or the video date. The settings are different. It's interesting in a date, like, the other person, you're kind of on equal ground. Like, the other person is nervous too, and they want to make a good impression too, so they'll like be engaging with you and talking with you, and and like their kind of nervousness from like talking or being like, oh, blah 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 blah, and you can kind of feel that, and so that feels like it makes you a little bit more relaxed. That's how I felt the couple times I've done it. Like, oh, they're nervous too, and they're trying like to impress me too. They're probably thinking a lot more about themselves than they're thinking about me. Like, they want to make a good impression. But in a friend thing, there's a little bit of that, maybe. But first of all, like, I'm going into a group of people who are already friends. They're obviously more comfortable than me, so it's not an equal ground situation. Like, they're more comfortable and I'm kind of... So it is a little bit of their responsibility to make me feel comfortable. But the problem is, like, yesterday when I did the taco thing, they were doing that. They were trying to make me feel more comfortable, and it just wasn't working. So then I start to feel even more anxious, like, oh, they're trying, and I'm not even... So now, are they going to be, like, upset with me? Like, they're trying, and I'm still not engaging with them. Are they going to be like, well, why is this guy, like, I'm just trying my best to make him feel comfortable. He's not even talking back to me. Like, a couple of the guys there, they were, like, asking me questions, and obviously I can answer questions normally, but I'm not good at keeping conversations going like that. And I think the problem is, like, I just, and subconsciously, I just feel their elevation of, like, status or whatever, and I just can't equal it. You can't equalize it or something. I can't ever feel comfortable or equal. Just, yeah, the simplest thing to say is just, like, I'm not comfortable in those situations. I'm actually more comfortable in the dating situation. So I think and that's why it's a little bit frustrating that I haven't been able to get any other, like, meetings with people, like a date thing, because I'm like, if I could do that more, I could get more comfortable or more confident, like, talking that way, and then I can actually use that for the friend thing. I always thought it would be the other way around, like, you get friends first, and then, like, a girlfriend's like a super friend, right? Like, you connect kind of like in a friendly way with friends, and then you can be, okay, let's move up to the next level, which is a girlfriend or like a date, but I think it might actually work the other way around. And then once you have a girlfriend, you can take her to, like, friend stuff, and then you have, like, a friend with you to be like, hey, my girlfriend's a thing, and she likes fishing or something, and then just, like, be like, oh, isn't she great? And then it would be helpful to have, like, a buddy. Kind of weird to call your girlfriend a buddy, but, like, a buddy to come with you. I don't have any buddies. That's my problem. I need a buddy. And it actually seems like it might be easier to have a girlfriend buddy than, like, a dude friend buddy. I don't know why. That's not true. Cut that out. I know why. It's because the dates are easier than friend dates. I noticed yesterday at the friend taco thing, this is something I might have mentioned before, but, so, like, I don't really have too many physical manifestations of social anxiety anymore, like heart beating fast or, like, all that stuff. Face red, eyes watery, knees weak, mom's spaghetti. I did yesterday. I did feel... One time my heart started beating really fast, and it was when there was a conversation going, and I actually had something to say. I'm like, oh, I can say something. I thought of something that might be kind of interesting. And so my heart started beating fast because I knew I would have to talk. So that's kind of interesting. The conversation was, it was about, like, scam emails, and they were saying, oh, isn't it kind of weird how, like, the scammers, they have typos in their email, and they're so stupid. And I heard once that people who send scam emails do that on purpose to filter out people so they don't waste time on like smarter people. If they send a normal email with no typos to me, I might initiate a conversation with them like a normal person. But then after talking to them more, I would realize, oh, this is a scam, and then I would stop. So that would waste their time. But so what they do is they put like typos in, and they like make themselves seem stupider so that they know whoever responds to the email is going to kind of be an idiot. I've heard that it's called an idiot filter. So they know it's like not going to be a waste of time because they didn't even get past they could get past the email that's like has all these typos. So they're probably not going to question anything. So I was like, oh, I can interject here and I can say something like that, like what I just said. But I never did. I was waiting for a little bit. I didn't want to like interrupt anybody. They were still talking about scammers and stuff. And then I think somebody started telling a story about like their grandpa got scammed or something. And then the conversation shifted and I didn't have an opportunity to do it. So there's an example of me still having the social anxiety thing, and it's because it's always been like this. Obviously, I have social anxiety. That was an example of it. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm older now and I don't have it, and I never really feel social anxiety, like my heart doesn't beat fast or whatever, short of breath or whatever. But the reason why I don't feel those things is because I've had it for so long that I know how to avoid those situations. I know that if I'm going to talk, then I'm going to be nervous. So I just don't talk, and then I'm never nervous. I talked to my therapist today, and it went well. I was thinking about the difference between, I've been able to think about like, the difference between the last therapist and this therapist that I think is good is the last therapist, it seemed like her goal was more to get me to accept who I am and be comfortable with who I am. But this therapist is okay with me saying like, I want to be better. I want to be better at being social. The last therapist always got hung up on this thing of like, I'm telling her I don't like being around people. And she's like, well, okay, then don't be around people. I'm like, but no. I'm capable of liking being around people. I'm just don't know how to get there. That's like what you're supposed to be helping me with. If you just tell me like, oh, just be fine with everything, then yeah, obviously, then all my problems are solved. But I don't know. I'm thinking of this dumb analogy that like, this kind of thought experiment of if you could take a pill. I remember hearing this one somewhere, but if you could take a pill that would make you happy forever, would you do it? And like there was a survey where most people, like 90% of people said no, I wouldn't do it because that happiness doesn't feel real. You would know it's based on a pill. You want your happiness to be real. Like if I just accept who I am, it doesn't feel like it's good enough. And I would keep talking about these feelings, and she would just keep saying like, well, why do you say good enough? Like you're good enough the way you are. I'm like, but come on, I want to be better. I want help to be better. And she would just be like, no, just accept who you are. This new therapist is like, it seems to, she does a little bit of that, like, oh no, you're fine. But she'll also say like, you want to like being around people, so that's something we can work on, is like to get you to like it. That's my whole thing. One of my main goal obviously is to like being around people. Right now I don't really, but I know I'm capable, I'm a human, like I'm a normal person. I'm capable of, like, there's just something wrong that I need to fix. That feels like it's, like the other therapist kind of was giving up, like, oh, it's not fixable. You can't fix it, just accept who you are. And I didn't want to. I wanted to fix it, and I want to like being around people, and I want to feel comfortable around people. Obviously, I don't have to be like talking to everybody on the street and like going outside every day. I don't want to do that, but just when I go to taco night, I want to leave feeling like I was pretty good. And yesterday I left feeling like that wasn't good because I never talked to anybody. There was one awkward moment with one of the guys that I had, and I don't want to say it because it's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say anything like personal. Hopefully I've done a good job of that so far. Like with the dates and the friends and everything. I don't want to talk about other people. I always just want to talk about myself. This is kind of a weird thing, like a narcissistic thing I've had to get over, which is like, well, you always want to talk about yourself, but I can't really talk about other people because that's not right. This is like, because this is like a public thing, I guess. Like, it doesn't feel right to say like, oh, this guy Greg told me about his grandma had cancer. I can't talk about that here. That was an example that didn't really happen. I just feel like I'm still not able to, yeah, it sounds so lame and cliche, but just like I'm just not able to be myself. I'm not able to be comfortable around people. I feel like I'm pretty comfortable here, which is good. I'm maybe like 80% comfortable. I don't know what I want, but like I'll know it when I experience it. To fully express myself and to fully be myself. I just want to experience that. I don't think I've ever experienced that. To just like go somewhere and be fully me and in the moment and just like talking. And like even if something like weird happens, like just experience it and as me. I don't know how, like, but it's never happened. I've never been able to do that. Like even if I say something awkward or if I'm kind of weird or like, oh, I'm too quiet, for me to be comfortable because that's me being me. I feel like me being quiet all the time isn't me being me, I guess. I feel like I'm not being myself if I'm just quiet all the time. Which I guess I was never able to express to the other therapist because she thought like me was quiet all the time. She was like, just accept it. That's who you are. But no. I mean, look at how much I'm talking here. Look at all these 1,000 videos I've made over the past 2 years. I want to do this. I want to blah, blah, blah. I want to talk. Someone who doesn't like talking wouldn't do this for 3 years every day, right? I like it. And I knew I liked it probably even before I started doing this. That's why I started doing it. Like someone who doesn't like talking, they wouldn't start doing this because they're like, this is going to be torture. I got to force myself to talk every day. I like it. I want to be this person. I want to be the person who can connect and can talk. Anything else? So yeah, I mean, every week I should probably, these videos get a couple more views than the other videos. Like last week, Mark and Gladys and Vault all commented on my video last week, and it's okay if they don't do it again. Obviously, it's fine, but it's cool that they did, and thanks if you're still watching. You can comment. I think, what did Gladys say? Oh yeah, Gladys was like, oh, I might start a vlog series. Gladys, you should do it. I'll take this opportunity to tell you. It's very I like it. So if I like doing it, you would like doing it. And you can talk about your life, which is interesting, and I'd watch it. And Vault used to make videos too, but he doesn't anymore. I would watch his videos. Vault, make videos. It's fun when you have like internet friends and they make videos and you watch them and you comment. I remember kind of liking that, but I kind of only like when they talk about anxiety and stuff. That's when Vault did those videos, I liked those. But then when he was talking about games, I'm like, oh, this is interesting and cool, but I don't know if I would watch it every day. But if he talked about like anxiety, I would definitely watch that. So thanks for everybody who watches. And if nobody watches, that's okay too. This helps me. But I definitely super appreciated when you guys commented on the crying video. So thanks. If you want me to talk about anything next week, or just keep talking about like anxiety and friend stuff and date stuff, that's what I'm going to keep talking about. If I don't get any other comments like, hey, talk about this. If somebody does ask me to talk about something, I always will, but thanks for everything if you're watching, and hope you have a good week. I know hopefully the winter goes well, like Christmas and holidays. And it's almost New Year. It's almost freaking 2022. What? Too many twos. Okay. Another week. See you next week. See you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.